question. What's the hardest thing you've had to give up? My first response is I was like, what? Our life is awesome. We've totally moved up.
Well, we were kind of sitting there like, well, what if we had to give up? Like, we couldn't really think of something. Like, what if we had to sacrifice? We couldn't.
Yeah, we were racking our brains saying, what are we giving up? I think sometimes people look at our life and say, oh, they've taken a step down in quality of life, right? They've taken a temporary demotion, right? Where and then they'll come back. They'll come back to normal life. They'll come back and live the American dream.
That we left all these things behind. We left behind comfort and luxury and whatever to pursue this trip, and then we're going to go back.
As though we're doing some kind of sacrificial pilgrimage where we'll return. But to us,
I was thinking just the other day, I mean, just like 2 days ago, I was just sitting here. We're renting this house in Panajachel, we've taken this little pause in our actual driving. And I was like, life is just so good here. I mean, our quality of life is just so much better than it was in the States. I think even when we had a lot of money and lived in a nice house, our quality of life is better here because we actually are focusing on and enjoying the things that we really care about. I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to explain that. I do remember in 2008, we were living in Costa Rica when the whole stock market, real estate market crash began, and we lost our income, we started losing, our assets. We had to return to the United States. We ended up losing our homes, our cars, and I remember thinking that was really hard. But now, I am honestly so grateful it happened. I mean, I couldn't imagine where we would be if that had not happened. I am so thankful that we went through that and we were able to kind of get this slap in the face and like, whoa, wow,
this awakening. It woke us up from this deep slumber we were in. And somebody said the best things in life are not things. And when you awake to that, you go, oh, yeah, this is what life's all about. This is how you get fulfillment and meaning and live a life that matters. It's just ridiculously awesome.
Yeah.
That's how you get there. But
and we've talked to several people who've gone through a similar experience. They had a lot of material success and wealth, and they ended up losing it during that time. And they say the same thing, that they are just so grateful that it happened. They can't imagine what their lives would be like without having that experience. And so that's how I feel. I don't feel that we've really, we lost all of that stuff, but really we've gained so much more. And our life now, we're driving in our truck and we don't own a house or own many things, but I honestly don't want to own a lot of things. I don't care because that's not what I want. That's not what I'm after. I'm getting what I'm after. I have what I'm pursuing, so I'm not giving up anything, I'm gaining.
And very often, not always, but very often, all those things, all the material possessions, they get in the way. They become cages or anchors or obstacles getting in the way of what you really want in life. We've really become minimalist and love it. Not in a weird hippie way where we wear a loincloth and that's it.
This is Aeropostale right here.
But where we just want to focus on what matters most. We don't want anything taking up our time, thought, energy, space, resources, all those other things. So we're not on a sacrificial pilgrimage.
And we're not
us, we've stepped up. We've moved. We've climbed up the incline. We're up higher than we were, and we're going, whoa, this is better.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, and it's not that we're against owning things. We're not even necessarily against owning a house. Our focus is on living within our means, so we buy what we want with cash. We don't live on credit. We don't do any of that. And then only buying the things that are truly going to add more value to our life. If buying a home will add more value to our life and we can actually own it, we'll do that. If buying a new computer or buying whatever, anything that we want to buy, we'll buy it if we perceive it's going to add more value to our life. But we're not just going to collect things just because, that's what you do.
And all of that, boy, it all just kind of fits together, If you're like, well, I got to get this, and then I got to pay the bills, and I got to make more money to pay these bills and these bills, and then all of a sudden I'm spending all my time away from my family in a job. And then it often gets so bad where both parents are away from their family in a job. And it starts consuming your whole life, and you realize, what am I doing? This isn't what I want. I mean, the best thing I give up was a job.
Yeah.
That was the best thing I give up. Something that was hard to give up. I honestly, I'm racking my brain trying to think of something that was difficult to give up. We love our life. And I know a lot of you are like, dude, I couldn't go without this or this or this. And maybe you can't, and I often thought like that. Yeah, you'd be surprised. I thought that way before. And now I'm giving up, I'm like, man, I can't believe I was so attached to those things. Because they just were getting in the way. They were distractions from really living deliberately. So for us, it's not we've given up. We feel like we've moved up. We've gained perspective and enjoyment and fulfillment, and we just love life. And so we challenge you. We turn around and say, we challenge you.
What do you think would be hard to give up, and why don't you try it?
Go for it, yeah. Try to do some elimination. Do some serious elimination and just free up your life and see what it feels like. We've talked to so many people. Just had a friend here last week, and he's like, at first it was so hard for me to sell my stuff at the garage sale and get rid of my TV and my video games and my things. He says, I was just like, it kind of hurt. And then once it was gone, he's like, woo, yeah. It's just freeing and wonderful. So try it. That's our challenge to you. Try it. Just free yourself from those things you think would be so hard to give up. Once you give them up, boy, oh, it's awesome. Life's fantastic.